Hello there, it's welcome back to the Waifus. I am Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and today we're gonna be talking finally about the elision duo, Mast and NIKKE, and our first impressions. Now, multiple things before we go into this, right? First of all, leave a like, subscribe, and grow the channel. Second, this is a first impressions video. The full review will be made in a couple days, right? After more testing. As usual, the first day is nice to see the general direction the character is taking, but it's not definitive, and the reviews are not gonna be set in stone. Things will change. That said though, they are looking absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, it looks like they're gonna be becoming the best duo in the game, even better than Bunnies, even better than Tia and Naga. We'll go over the damage in a second on both distribute and non-distribute damage. Now, there are a couple downsides, but the downsides are literally the same as pulling for Black Naga and pulling for Tia and... Sorry, pulling for Black Nora and pulling for Tia and Naga. You have to pull for 2 characters rather than 1, and you have to build 2 characters rather than 1. If you cannot afford a Sefhi, would I be missing out on something huge? If you care about the raids, you want to pull 1 copy of each. If you care about raids, if you don't care about raids, you can skip these 2 characters. And I know a lot of people will be like, no, you should not skip. If you don't care about raids, and you already have buffers, and you already can push campaign, and again, you don't care about endgame, you can skip them, they're not limited. I would recommend getting 1 copy, but up to you as usual. Now, all that jumping aside for the introduction, let's go over multiple things. First of all, NIKKE herself, and a little bit of how to build both of them, and the damage comparison. And like I was saying, I already said if I would pull or not, I would recommend 1 copy, absolutely. But let's go first a little bit on how to build NIKKE and Maid, and then the damage comparison lastly, as usual, on Figma for both distribute and non-distribute damage. So, when it comes to NIKKE and Mast, sadly, they are 2 characters that are quite expensive, but then again, you look at Tia and Naga, you look at Blanc and Nor, it's kind of a similar situation. You can leave the other duos as well on a lower skill requirement and they will work. And it is the same here. You can leave them at lower level and they will work, but it is a waste considering the skills they have and some of the numbers are not going to be enough at a level 4. Both of them, in my opinion, can be taken to 7, 10, 10. That's what I would be bringing both of them, NIKKE and Mast. Now, that is a general recommendation for now. I would go 777 only until next week we finish testing and see if it's worth taking something to 10. At 777, they already work. There is no need to go higher considering they are supports, and it's 2 characters instead of 1 that you are building. That's already super expensive. The good thing about this duo, just like the other duos, honestly, is that you don't need to care about what lines you get. It does not matter what lines you get on the gear. You can get anything and it works. You don't have to reroll for elemental, for attack, for max ammo even. Does it make, for example, Mast shoot longer? Yes, but her moves, it does not matter what she gets. As long as you get a couple hit rate lines, you're good for Mast. And when it comes to NIKKE, it absolutely does not matter. You just overload her for the extra combat power. She does not get any line that will benefit her at all. So that's like the only good thing about this duo, that you don't need to worry about the overload lines and you can just build them with basic stuff, right? Do not waste rocks on them. At least I don't think it's worth it. For elemental content, of course, long term, you want to min-max them for the extra damage, but the amount of damage you are getting in contrast to how many rocks you are spending is going to be way too much. That's it, okay? Both of them a 777 or a 71010. Oh, cat is going through the screen. Nice. Hey, move there, not there. Hey, girl. Oh my god. Let's do this for a second. There we go. Go to the bed. So, cat out of the way. Let's go over distribute and non-distribute damage. When it comes to distribute damage, I was just running an SBS Alice. Yes, an auto Alice, okay? I was only manualing to burst faster. That's it. With Mast and NIKKE, we will get it 7.3 billion damage, 2.6 on Rappi. As usual, Rappi, kind of a stupid character, but it is what it is. This was elemental weakness for water, so water had advantage in here. When it comes to bunnies, as you can see, we went from a 7.3 to a 5.7. That is a huge difference, a big ass difference. Rappi was doing the same damage. When it comes to Tia and Naga, as you can see here, Rappi was doing more damage and Scarlet was doing a 6.1 instead. So pretty consistent when it comes to Rappi, at least on these 2, and then on Tia Naga, Rappi was doing better. since she is a machine gun and can take advantage of the core, extra core damage, right? And then Scarlet 6.1. As you can see, when it comes to the duos, there is a big difference. But for example, Blank and Nor, in my opinion, are the ones that are losing the most value right now, or are the worst duo, if you will. I'll make a separate video going over the duos and if it's worth investing first on bunnies or schoolgirls or maids now, depending on what you have on your account. But clearly, the maids are doing fantastically on distribute damage, which is benefiting Scarlet Black Shadow. And then I just went with the Crown Naga because Scarrow does not have a Helm Phase 3 Treasure, and Scar was doing 7.5, which, as you can see, is pretty close to just running the mates, the new mates. But this is a normal crown with Naga. We're talking about a duo, a pair of characters that can compare what the crown Naga are giving to you for a specific character, right? Because it's for distribute damage. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's super cool, but that's only on distribute damage. If we remove distribute damage, what's going on here? Well, if we remove distribute damage, as you can see, we go to a 7.8 and 2.9, just like a basic Cinderella and Ain in here. Ain is on auto, that's why her damage is also lower. So a 7.8 versus 2.9 with the mates. When we talk about the bunny girls, a 7.2 versus a 2.5 on Rappi, losing some damage, as you can see, which makes sense. And when we go into the schoolgirls, we're going on Rappi to a 3 billion versus a 7.3, basically 7 damage for Cindy. But Cinderella is benefiting a lot more from the new mates, 7.8 versus 7.3. And then running, of course, the normal crown Naga. Cinderella goes all the way up to 8.8 billion and Rappi to 4.2. So Crown is still the best buffer in the game. That's not gonna change anytime soon. In fact, she only benefits more from running, for example, Crown and now Anchor. Crown and the new Helm with the constant healings. Like, she's a character that only benefits more from getting new support characters. It's stupid how good she is, but as you've seen from the numbers, the new mates are doing really, really well. Now, all that jumping aside, like I was saying, if you care about raids, we're talking about you have to pull these two characters right now. You have to build them right now for the raid, and you have to use a lot of resources. Most people cannot afford that. If you can, I will say getting one copy is pretty good. I got my copy of Mast. I got shafted on Anchor. I don't know if I'll keep pulling or if I'll ticket one copy or what I am going to be doing right now. For now, I'll wait for a little bit because you will know I don't care as much for raids. At least in my case, I personally don't care too much. But clearly you will be at a disadvantage if you are not pulling for them and building them, which if you're not competitive, does not matter. All that jumping aside, once again, that's just the first impressions for both of them. I know some people ask for like an individual video on Anchor. I don't think it's gonna be necessary because just like you would not be using Tia and Naga alone, and you would be using Naga, right, as a 20-second. Most people will not be using Mast and Anchor individually. I will keep testing Anchor on her own and to make her own specific guide for the website, but this is going to be for the first impressions on the new Maid girls. They are looking really good and probably one of the best looks in terms of the duo characters we have. Shift Up always cooks pretty well when it comes to the duo characters. Bunnies look pretty good, schoolgirls are pretty good, the maids now look amazing. Hopefully all of the characters moving forward look like this, but that is a lot to ask. All that happened, that's gonna be for this video. As usual, love you all bosses. Have a great day. Good luck with your pool the raids. Until the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。
天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。